This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're coming to you live from the Healthcare Week in San Francisco 2015. I have with me Ken Harris, Cesca Therapeutics, publicly traded company, and the symbol is KOOL, K-O-O-L. Ken, welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you, Shelley. Glad to be here.
It's good to have you. Let's get an overview on Cesca to begin with.
Mm-hmm. So Cesca Therapeutics is a company that came together as a merger of two companies. We've been merged for about 11 months now, which was previously Thermogenesis Corporation, been around over 20 years, and Totipotent RX, which I founded, which is a clinical trial group. Together we have about 120 employees, about $16 million in revenue, and we're focused in cardiovascular and orthopedic clinical development.
And you develop what areas and what are your treatments and what are you curing or treating? Right. Or?
So our high impact therapies are in the cardiovascular space. We're focused on critical limb ischemia, which is our late stage development product. Planning to move into pivotal or phase 3 trials in the next couple of months. That trial really focuses on limb ischemia, which is a disease mostly affecting diabetics. Starts with an impact where there's poor blood flow to the leg, and the leg starts basically to get gangrene in the toes and work its way up towards the knee, ending in leg amputation and poor quality of life. We focus on fixing that and actually stopping the disease progress and regenerating the leg so the leg doesn't have to be amputated.
Now, for people who know me and many of the interviews that I've done in my career, regenerative medicine is probably in my top 3 that I love to hear about. So let's further analyze that.
Okay. So regenerative medicine can mean many things to many different people. First of all, there's the use of stem cells. We use more than just stem cells in our regenerative medicine product, but to many people it means stem cells. To other people it means cancer therapy using an immunovaccine, companies like Dendreon, et cetera. Or it can mean combination of proteins and gene therapy and different types of biological products used to regenerate the tissue.
The size of the market alone for ischemia,
right?
Please.
Yeah. So limb ischemia alone impacts about 2 million people in the U.S., and I would say on the upward side of 15 to 20 million people worldwide. In the U.S., about 2 to 3% of those people advance to critical limb ischemia, meaning they run out of options, they can't have a surgery to correct it, and they're going to proceed to amputation, and that's our target market. So we're looking at somewhere in the range of 30 to 60,000 patients would be within our target zone within the American market itself.
And is it growing or not?
Unfortunately, it's growing. Fortunately for us, but unfortunately for the patients, it's growing. It's really driven by the growth in diabetes. Over 60% of the patients who have limb ischemia also have diabetes, and which has a big impact on vascular disease. And so, yes, at the rate diabetes grows, so is limb ischemia.
Ken, you aren't a company that's dependent on FDA approvals as you move forward. Correct. So where do you stand currently with FDA approvals?
So we're currently under review for the phase 3 trial for limb ischemia. We expect to have the next round of submission put in the next 6 weeks, and it takes about 30 days for them to review and give us feedback.
So what kind of feedback do they give you? I mean, because phase 3, once phase 3 is finished, you're marketing the product.
You are applying for marketing approval.
Thank you for correcting me.
Right. So at the end through this process, they look at your clinical protocol, they look at the safety, and they look at the efficacy plan and the statistical analysis plan to say, if you do this plan appropriately, are you approvable? And so we're in dialogue with them on all of those endpoints.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
It's a great thing. I mean, it's the final step before you're moving to the money.
So that means that 2015 could be a pivotal year for Cesca. So it's a good segue for me, because where do you see the company going in 2015 into 2016, with it just beginning in 2015 now?
Right. So we will be starting our phase 3 hopefully in the next couple of months in 2015 for CLI. We'll be launching the phase 2 for AMI, which is the heart attack-based treatment. And we will also be finishing up our bone marrow transplant program for the pediatric, for the kids who need bone marrow transplants across the world. So we really have 4 clinical programs advancing to their next catalyst or milestones this fiscal year.
So if you allow me, what I'd like to do is summarize all 4 for our audience, and then we'll send them to the website for more information.
Okay. So first, critical limb ischemia for phase 3, acute myocardial infarction for phase 2, ABO mismatch for bone marrow transplant, which is for pediatric patients, and then haploid identical, which was for a mismatched bone marrow transplant for both pediatric and adult patients. And we're in the pre-510K phases for both of those.
I mean, just, financially speaking, how large a market are these?
So critical limb ischemia for us is well over $1 billion to potentially up to $2 billion. Acute myocardial infarction is north of $2 billion in opportunity. Bone marrow transplant, I'll start with the mismatched unit, is about $150 million in opportunity, and ABO mismatch is an orphan drug, so very small.
So Ken, what's your background?
So I have over 27 years in biotechnology. I've worked in bioprocess and in vitro diagnostics and biotherapies development, and have started 2 companies. Most recently was the founder and CEO of Totipotent. And so I've been in this space for a long time and have taken multiple products through the FDA for both diagnostics and regenerative medicine.
Now, I know that our audience is going to want to know your website, so why don't you give it to them loud and clear?
Sure. www.cesca.therapeutics.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Harris, Cesca Therapeutics. It's a publicly traded company, and the symbol is KOOL, K-O-O-L. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive. We're at the Healthcare Week in San Francisco 2015. Ken?
Thank you, Shelley.
Great to have you.
It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks.